The thing with Donald Trump is, you never know when the hammer is going to fall. No one does, not even the guy swinging it. We saw it during his first term. His cabinet turned into a revolving door. People in, people out. You blink and suddenly they were gone. This time things felt a little different. For the first 100 days of Trump 2.0, things felt calmer, more stable. But here we are, Season 2, Episode 102, and the first heads have rolled. National Security Advisor Mike Waltz and First Buddy Elon Musk. They are both out. What led to this? We'll start with Mike Waltz. The former congressman was appointed the National Security Advisor of the US, but from the beginning, he was on thin ice. He did not work well with the rest of the cabinet. He berated White House officials. He was dismissive of Chief of Staff Susie Wiles. Waltz was not a team player, and that irked many in the Trump administration. But what sealed his fate was Signalgate. On March 11, Mike Waltz added Jeffrey Goldberg to a Signal chat. He's the editor-in-chief of a news magazine called The Atlantic. Goldberg first thought that it was fake. But then he found himself inside a war room, a group chat with 18 senior Trump officials openly discussing an attack on the Houthis in Yemen. In fact, the airstrikes were confirmed on this Signal chat, and those messages were met with celebration. Now, this is a very serious security slip. And who was responsible for it? Mike Waltz. After all, he was the one who added Goldberg to the chat.
Well, yeah, Mike Waltz, I guess he said he claimed responsibility, I would imagine. Had nothing to do with anyone else. It was Mike, I guess. I don't know. I was told it was Mike. But again, the attacks were unbelievably successful, and that's ultimately what you should be talking about, I think. No, Mike he took responsibility for it.
This escalated into a big controversy for the Trump administration, and that meant more headlines, something that Donald Trump does not like. He did not mind the mistake so much, but he really minded the bad PR. Reports suggest that Trump wanted to fire Waltz immediately, but his chief of staff suggested otherwise. A dismissal would implicate the administration. So they opted for a so-called soft landing. They have removed Mike Waltz as the National Security Advisor. They have appointed him as ambassador to the United Nations. Now, a small point to note here. This appointment needs the approval of the US Congress. The administration knows that it's very unlikely. The approval may not come. So Mike Waltz will be out, and Trump won't even have to fire him directly. It would be the perfect narrative.
So he wasn't let go. He is being made ambassador to the United Nations, which, of course, is a Senate-confirmed position. I think you can make a good argument that it's a promotion. But we brought Mike on to do some serious reforms of the National Security Council. He has done that. I like Mike. I think he's a great guy. He's got the trust of both me and the president. But we also thought that he'd make a better UN ambassador as we get beyond this stage.
And what does Waltz have to say about this? Well, not very much. Signal got him into a bad position, but it looks like the former NSA cannot let go of it. He was pictured using it just a day before his ouster. Yes, old habits die hard. And while Mike Waltz was a direct change, there was another casualty this week. I'm talking about Elon Musk. Musk bragged about juggling a lot of hats. Tesla CEO, Doge chief, Trump's first buddy.
Elon, I love the double hat, by the way. He's the only one that can do that. Get away with it.
Well, Mr. President, you know, they say I wear a lot of hats. And as you can see, it's true. Even my hat has a hat.
But now it looks like Elon Musk just ghosted the White House.
Not a good feedback
he
loop
packed his bags and bounced. Why? Because according to Elon, he does not need to be there. He claims that Doge is like Buddhism, and he's basically Buddha with a blue check mark. He may have left the building, but his Doge cuts will continue to move forward. Also, he's got a day job to get back to. He has to stop Tesla's plummeting sales.
Been a tremendous help. You opened up a lot of eyes as to what could be done, and we just want to thank you very much. And you know, you're invited to stay as long as you want. At some point, I guess he wants to get back home to his cars and his...
This is a textbook example of deja vu. The first Trump administration was defined by churn. He had 4 national security advisors, 3 chiefs of staff, and 2 press secretaries, all in the first 2 years of his term. So the real question now is not who's next. It's who survives long enough to make it to the credits.